you know, you literally cannot fault me for doing my best and my due diligence, along with people like J Snip 4 and SGT Bull 07, Max Kaiser, and a lot of other people out there, to try and inform you people. And you know, I remember years and years and years ago that people would say, you know, the government never confiscated the gold. They never confiscated gold. They never confiscated gold. You need to go back, do the history, do the research. I'm sitting here reading this morning on Fox News right now. Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this. You remember some months ago that some people found some rare gold coins that apparently their family had during the Great Depression, you know, because you know, I was buying gold coins then for what, $20, $30, $35 it got up to after they turned around and jacked the people, and they raised the prices up. Anyway, they found all these coins, and these coins are in essence worth $80 million. And I'm going to show you what ignorance get you. You see, ignorance is very destructive. And that's the reason why before you make any moves in your life, before you make any decisions in your life, you need to inform yourself and not so-called, quote, trust in the professionals. Because the one thing I've learned about the so-called professionals, in every aspect of the so-called profession, they have all been boot-licking, jackleg liars. And you can't tell them nothing. No, you see, the people today, they despise people who educate themselves. And they actually look down on you in disdain, as if you have the audacity to not go to college, read a book that they tell you to read, to pass a test that they've got rigged for them in order to condition your mind how to function in this world. And since many people have followed that sentiment, and I'm not coming down on educated people, believe me, I think it's an honorable thing for people who have gotten education and have received education, and they have not allowed it to affect their minds. They still have the ability to reason. They still have what you call, quote unquote, which is so uncommon today, common sense. But we're dealing with a bunch of psychotic sociopaths today. And when you get these people right here, you have to understand, our government is broke. Do you understand the word broke? We are in debt. They tell us 16 trillion. I'm telling you 104, 105 trillion. Now, hey, take it, leave it, makes no difference. When you get to the 1T, it's already enough. But, and that costs, what does that do? That ties every single U.S. citizen or American to the tune of $50,700 in debt, no matter how free we all think we are. It's called indentured servitude. But anyway, back on this. These people found these gold coins, so they're going to do the right thing. And if you know anything about do the right thing, you should have been listening to J Snip 4, who would have told you about these people who have this mindset called do the right thing. Let me ask you a question to stimulate thought for each and every last one of us. Because a law is passed, and because they say it's the law, does that mean it's lawful to you and I? Does that mean that? I mean, after all, because this is how our government gauges and judges morality. But the one thing that I've learned living in this country is that the laws always applies to the citizens, but it never applies to the people who work for the actual government itself. You're talking about hypocrisy on an unprecedented level. It's just off the chain. Have you seen the crimes that these criminal syndicates get away with? And then people like me, a voice of reason, who get out and try to stimulate your thought to get you to start thinking outside the box so that you won't allow yourself to be punished because of lack of knowledge, because you're destroyed for lack of knowledge. You know why? I don't want to hear, I don't want to hear, I don't want to hear, I don't want to hear. And all you're doing is setting yourself up for destruction and failure. But let me get on with this, because it's easy for me to get off on other subjects and to digress in many other ways. But let me get to the point. These people are going to do the right thing, quote unquote, all right? Whoever decides what that right thing is. You follow me? And they weren't going to go to the U.S. Mint and have these people to appraise these coins. So you know what our good old government did? But since you have to understand, we're broke. We're broke. So you know what they did? Hey, it's a quick way to make $1. So they confiscated. So the people went to court. Lawyer probably lied to him because he's part of the system too. And thinking that he's going to get in there and change something, all he's doing is getting more money, extracting more money from these people. He ain't going to change anything. Because by the time it gets to these judges, they determine policy and law as they go. Haven't y'all figured that out with the Supreme Court? So found out that, hey, the judge says that the coins were illegally stored and they belong to the federal government. Well, anyway, I'm sure they appealed it, and here we are. I'm looking at it. Published September 7th. Judge upholds government claims, you hear that? To 80 million in rare gold coins found in safety deposit box. You know, because somehow they got to do something to replenish all that gold that is missing in Fort Knox, since we can't audit the Fed today. Ron Paul's been calling for the audit of the Fed, but you know how that goes. Huh? You know how that goes. But look what it says right here. I want to read this. Look at this. 10 of the rarest and most valuable coins in the world were almost certainly stolen from the federal mint in Philadelphia and therefore belong to the U.S. government and not heirs of a coin dealer who found them in a safety deposit box, a federal judge ruled. Can't you already smell a rat from the very beginning? Listen to how it's worded. And again, you people, I think the one thing you need to do is discern this. You cannot trust the news media. If you ever had any run with media whatsoever at all, by the time they get a story, they twist it, warp it, distort it, and it's far from anything than what the truth is. And they determine what you're going to hear, what you're not going to hear. Just like when you go in these courts. The federal judges decided what's going to be admissible evidence and what's not. And so the jury, and most people don't have the mind and the discernment and the presence to actually read between the lines, listen between the lines, and try to make a determination what's really truly going on, meaning information to withheld. And they understand this because when you went to public food, then you went to public food, when you went to college and stuff, and they've trained you and manipulated you to learn in this world how to function in society. They already know how you're going to think. They already know how you're going to respond. So it's not hard for them to lie to you, and you automatically trust the system. Why is it that you trust the system, and who told you that you need to have trust in this system when the system don't trust you? Why is it that? Why is it that every time we turn around, we're being regulated? We have taxation without representation. We have no legal representation whatsoever at all. We only have lawful representation whatsoever at all. And it seems like every time something goes on, the crap rolls down the hill, we the ones that's feeling not only the brunt of it, but we got the stink and the residue of it all over us, all because of the policies that they pass, so-called laws that they pass, that they themselves seem to have diplomatic immunity from, and they're totally exempt from. So anyway, these August St. Gruins double eagle 20 $20 piece were among some 445,500 struck during the Great Depression, but nearly all were pulled out of circulation within weeks as President Roosevelt ordered U.S. banks to abandon the gold standard. It was originally believed that all but a pair of the double eagles were melted down into gold bars. One of the surviving coins fell into the hands of King Farouk, F-A-R-O-U-K, of Egypt, and sold for more than $7.5 million at auction in the summer of 2002. But in 2003, 3 grandchildren of the coin dealer named Israel Swift found 10 coins if the coins in a safe deposit box after Swift's death. It turned out that the coins had been given to Swift by Philadelphia Mint cashier George McCann years ago. The coins were seized by the government when the heirs took them to the mint seeking authentication. Since then, Swift's grandchildren, John, Roy, and David Langford, have been battling in court to prove they are the rightful owners of the coin. Hey, you ain't going to this court in a bankrupt system and get justice. You people need to understand this, and I'm going to tell you a painful truth that nobody likes hearing, but nevertheless it's still the truth, and it's the true straight way. You're not going to get justice from a people on stolen land. From the very beginning, there's no justice because of all the injustices that's been perpetuated on this land right here that has never been repented for. No restitution has ever been given whatsoever at all. And so there's not going to be any justice on stolen land. You can forget about it from the word go. That's the spirit behind all this. And for the American people to think that you can actually trust this wicked, perverted, godless, satanic society to do right by you, you deserve exactly what you get. That's why you better start changing your mind, preserving yourself from this wicked, wicked country. Anyway, it's over here on Fox News. I done had enough. I'm only going to sit up here and read all this perverted article right here. I just ain't going to do it. It's just sad. Because I tell you what it does, it just actually really upsets me greatly. It really, really, truly does. But I know one thing. I know how to live quiet and peaceable, and I know how to protect myself from an unjust system gone mad. And I think if anything, more than anything, you need to learn how to yourself. You need to start learning how to have clandestine operations amongst you and the people you trust in your area that you need to network with. You need to learn how to have mutual assistance groups, because I can tell you right now, there's going to be a weep and a howl go all across this land. America has a lot of sin that's going to be paid for. And I'm telling you, as the old saying goes, the chickens are coming home to roost, because there is a law called sowing and reaping. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. And America, you got a lot of sin that you paying for, and it's time for payment right now.